Welcome to a very politically charged episode of Tough Talk. We've interrupted two MPs on their campaign trails to bring you the tough questions that you want answered. Tonight we have Julian Fortescue Monticlans III, who's the Conservative MP
Fourth, actually.
Who was the Conservative MP for the gated community of Chippingham South.
Good evening.
And Labour MP from the swamplands of the north.
Very close.
Well, thank you gentlemen for joining me. One of the biggest concerns amongst our viewers is the state of the education system. Schools are being put into special measures, teachers are overworked and underpaid, and it's affecting the children.
Well, we pride ourselves on being tough and tidy. Tough on
crime,
tidy on the economy.
I'm sorry, I asked you about the education service?
Tough and tidy. Well, as I've explained quite clearly, Dominic, our ethos is to be tough and tidy. Tough on
Schools! The question is about schools or academies. You may as well talk to your fucking self.
The network apologies for any offence caused by Mr. Clunk's profanity there.
Ah, bollocks. Sorry. On you go.
Our academies are going from strength to strength.
We've got a raft of new financial initiatives that we're very excited about rolling out in the next Parliament. And these will continue to ensure that these academies thrive.
Yet another
in
example
the
of
future.
Labour policies being hijacked by the Tories and executed with inexcusable inefficiency. I mean, Dominic, as we both know, the academies are in dire straits after years of neglect under the current government. Our policy is to raise funds for local schools by implementing a tax on private school tuition fees. And this will guarantee to raise teaching standards and also guarantee to raise A to C GCSE results year on year.
Guarantees? That's very interesting. Julian, can the Conservatives offer similar guarantees?
Absolutely.
But how? The current government have already confirmed there will be no increase in funding, so how can you make such a guarantee?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different ways and means to raise standards aside from direct funding, Dominic.
Would you care to name one?
Look, what's important to remember here is that these academies flourished under our leadership, and they're only going to continue to flourish under our continued leadership. With a tough mind and a tidy...
Ass.
Julian, you said you can match the guarantees of the Labour Party, and I want to know how you plan to achieve that.
Look, what we need to focus on...
Are you going to continue to avoid my question, or are you going to tell us how do you plan to raise GCSE results and teaching standards without the funding increase?
Well, we're going to use robots.
I'm sorry, did you say robots?
Their cabinet is full of them.
Yes. Robot teachers, robot dinner ladies, so forth. There's been, a lot of development in computers recently. We're going to harness that, and we're confident that we can
Raise the teaching standards and results, but won't need a funding increase.
Tell us more.
Look, this is exactly the kind of out-of-the-box thought leadership that you get from the Tory government that you would never see under a Labour leadership.
So you're genuinely saying that you are going to introduce robot staff into the academies?
Yep. That's about the size of it, yep. And we'll raise teaching standards and results across the board using the robots.
Let's see. Larry, have you heard of this?
He hasn't heard anything since they changed his hearing aid from analogue to digital.
No, it's ridiculous. I mean, this is just another example of the utter disconnection this government has from the electorate.
They're living in cloud cuckoo. Oh, thank goodness. There was me for thinking these was
We're going to introduce magic lessons.
Magic?
Yes, spells and that.
Spells?
Absolutely. We've been investing in magic for years. As part of our Alternatives initiative, we're going to roll out to schools across the country in the UK curriculum an extensive magic course to ensure that all pupils of school age learn proper magic.
Taught by qualified wizards, witches, and warlocks.
We're confident that by 2020, under Labour government, all children in comprehensive education will have the ability to fly, command the elements, and even conjure beings from another dimension.
Right, using magic. Like plucking a fiscal policy out of a hat. Well, there's no real change there then.
At least we're not plucking it out of our arse.
Look, the Conservatives are the only party with any significant skill in wizardry, as we all know. We have in the past confined that to tax returns, but similar to the Labour policy, only far superior and much tougher and tidier, we will also be rolling out magic to schools across the country.
So, I just want to clarify for the viewers at home. Both of you are proposing to fix the failing education system with magic, the economy with magic.
Correct.
Abracadabra.
You see, Dominic, this is one of the few areas that we're actually, both parties are in agreement on.
The only part where we differ from the Tories on this is that their approach to magic
Is secretive, guarded, à la débandade.
What?
You see,
we want to publish the spell books for everybody so that everyone can learn full magic instead of the rudimentary and frankly dangerous hocus pocus that the Tories will have our children learning. They are l'appel de vide.
Lapel de what?
Dominic, let's be absolutely clear. The progressive quantum technology at CERN is well established. Indeed, the metaphysical subjective reality we all inhabit and project onto our collected ontological consciousness actually augments and informs the subatomic particle quark and its antiquarkian counterpart within the Higgs field and stimulates the supersymmetric aberrational phenomena into a posteriori, not a priori, truth and tangible agency. All buttressed, of course, by the Sisyphean crawl out of the semiotic cora into the semantic domain. This is not tautology.
this is Labour bollocksology.
And who says the BBC are biased?
This is empirical.
It's actually very, very simple, although the Tories will have you believe otherwise.
Oh, right. You really are the voice of the common man, aren't you? Look, rather than pretend everything's simple and we're all as stupid as each other, we like to celebrate achievement. We'll base our fiscal policies on tried and tested expert formulas. We'll run the economy based on the Fisher's MV equals PT theorem. Do the plebs understand the maths? No. Do they need to? Of course not. They can just relax, take time out, have a delicious Greg's meal deal or something, knowing full well that the tough stuff is being done by us.
I think the general public here will be pretty surprised about these revelations. What's the cost of implementing this?
You mean epistemologically? Well, that's a fascinating question, Dominic.
No. I mean in monetary terms, Julian.
Well, there are a lot of estimates that go into putting together these policies, and it is very complicated.
So you're saying it's not fully costed?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is...
Are you fully costed or not?
Look, what we need to focus on in this respect is that...
I'm looking for a yes or no answer, Julian, that's all.
No, I think a yes or no is not the answer you're looking for.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
No, I think a pre-rehearsed soundbite on a slightly different topic will do fine.
Are you trying to Jedi mind trick me?
What? No.
It's clear we're not going to get a straight answer on this, so moving on, the next topic that the viewers want answered is about the state of the NHS. Julian, what are you planning to do about the crisis in the NHS?
Sorry, the what?
The NHS.
I'm not getting it. The NHS?
NHS.
He doesn't even know what it stands for.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I bloody do.
What is it then?
Well, I mean, what it stands for, what it means is,
We're all ears.
well, what it means is it's the national, the National Happiness Survey. Yes, National Happiness Survey.
Then the health service.
Oh, the other one, the NHS, right? I see what you mean. Yeah, the health service. Well, I mean, we're a huge supporter of that. I love the NHS. I really do. My family do. We're all right behind it. Very good NHS.
Waiting times are at a record high.
Yep,
Doctors are working 48-hour shifts.
Absolutely.
Cancer treatments are a postcode lottery.
We all like a gamble, don't we, Dominic?
Surely, this is the worst the health service has ever been. What do you plan to do about it, Barry?
I'm glad you asked me, Dominic. As you know,
The NHS, or the National Health Service, is a cornerstone of our manifesto. Labour are committed to improving services across the board by introducing targeted and measured initiatives that we will implement from day one.
I'm talking about ending exorbitant consultancy fees. I'm talking about negotiating with doctors and nurses instead of...
We've cured cancer.
Really? This is sensational news. When will it be available?
Yes. Well, oddly, the first stage of the vaccine is to vote Conservative on June the 8th.
We've cured cancer too. Actually, we have a triple vaccine that cures cancer, Alzheimer's and AIDS. And all you have to do to access this triple vaccine is to, on June the 8th, vote for anyone apart from the Conservatives.
That is absolute poppycock.
Are you calling me a liar?
I most certainly am, sir. And what's more, none of these vaccines are relevant anyway, because actually, we've learned how to reverse the aging process.
Oh, good. Just in time to save your beloved Iron Lady. Oh, no.
How dare you! No one insults the Führer!
Well, that's all we've got time for. Join us this time next week, where I'll be fighting a badger. Good night.
This one's for you, Mike.